Hello and welcome to Mouse in the Mitten Trivia Pod, a podcast where you test your Disney trivia knowledge over a variety of topics. My name's Court and I will be your host. Our game will consist of 5 rounds of 6 questions, covering everything from your basic Disney knowledge to some unknown facts. Each question is worth 1 point unless otherwise noted. Make sure you follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mouse in the Mitten. And if you're watching us over on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and the comments down below let us know what your score is. Now, I just had 2 clients book this week with me. Super excited for their upcoming trip. Both of them are relatively short, but super excited to just get down to Disney World and experience everything that Disney has to offer. Whether it's a short trip or a long trip, I would love to make sure that all your dreams come true. All you got to do is email me at mouseinthemitten@gmail.com. We can get you all taken care of. Well, as previously mentioned, November is a month of movie anniversaries, and today we're going to talk about a ton of them. And we're going to get started right off the bat with A Bug's Life, a classic movie that in my opinion is a bit underrated. So round 1 is dedicated to A Bug's Life. So let's get started here with question number 1. What number feature animation is A Bug's Life for Pixar? Question number 2. What Nashville and Hero star plays the voice of Dot? Question number 3. What occupation does the bugs that Flick finds have, or used to have, when Flick convinces them to come to Ant Island with him? Question number 4. Who is the supervisor of the group of bugs that goes with Flick to Ant Island? Question number 5. What invention did Flick not create? The telescope, automatic harvester, or water hose? And question number 6. What DreamWorks movie came out just a few months before A Bug's Life and has a lot of similarities? All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, try to come up with those answers, and then I will return. All right, let's give you some answers here on A Bug's Life. So question number 1. What number feature animation is A Bug's Life for Pixar? Well, it is the second feature-length animation that Pixar put out. Obviously, Toy Story was the OG. Bug's Life was number 2. Question number 2. What Nashville and Hero star plays the voice of Dot? Well, that is Hayden Panettiere, which again is just a reminder of how long she has been in the acting industry, and seems like it maybe has taken a little bit of a toll on her, keeping her in my thoughts and prayers and hoping that everything turns out positively for her. Question number 3. What occupation does the bugs that Flick finds have, or used to have, when Flick convinces them to come to Ant Island with him? Well, that is circus bugs. That whole group is circus bugs, and Flick finds out maybe a little bit too late, but they still were quite helpful. Question number 4. Who is the supervisor of the group of bugs that goes with Flick to Ant Island? That is P.T. Flea, kind of playing a little fun and games there with P.T. Barnum. And again, if you remember that they were circus bugs, P.T. Flea makes a lot of sense. And again, John Ratzenberg, there is his role for A Bug's Life. Question number 5. What invention did Flick not create? Is it the telescope, the automatic harvester, or water hose? Correct answer, that is the water hose. He invented the telescope. That's what they used to kind of keep a lookout, make sure none of the grasshoppers were coming. The automatic harvester, that was the one that like cut the stalk down and then put it into the little backpack area. Flick was an inventor. He invented a lot of really cool things. Those were just 2 of them. Last but not least, question number 6. What DreamWorks movie came out just a few months before A Bug's Life and has a lot of similarities? That is Ants. Now, I have never seen Ants, but it is very similar in terms of storyline, in terms of the main character, the protagonist, all that sort of stuff. And apparently, it's Michael Scott's favorite movie that features Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson isn't in the movie, but you know, it's still a funny little quip there as well. But again, A Bug's Life, it's fantastic. And again, if you want to see just how far animation has come, watch A Bug's Life and then watch Inside Out 2. It'll blow your mind at just how quickly animation and technology can advance. Continuing on now into round number 2. Round number 2 is our fast facts. This round is filled with simple questions that have simple answers. Today's category is who are they? The way this round works is I'm going to give you the name of a Disney character. You just have to let me know who played that character. I'm going to give you a hint today. Each one of these characters was played by someone who had a Billboard Hot 100 song at some point in their singing career. So let's get started here with question number 1. Hannah Montana. Question number 2. Sonny Monroe. Question number 3. Princess Vivian and Maya Hart. Question number 4. Paige Olvera. Question number 6. Alex Russo. And question number 6. Laureline Baker. All right, let's give you some answers to these questions. Again, all of these actresses at some point did have a Billboard Hot 100. So let's get started here with question number 1. Hannah Montana, that is of course Miley Cyrus. Probably one of the easier ones on this list because technically her character in Hannah Montana was Miley Cyrus. So hopefully you're able to, that one was the softball of the group. Question number 2. Sonny Monroe, that is Demi Lovato. She had a couple other roles that she played throughout Disney, but Sonny Monroe is definitely up there with one of her most memorable roles. Question number 3. Princess Vivian and Maya Hart, that is played by the same person. That is Sabrina Carpenter, who, if we had done this list a year ago, maybe not as well known, but definitely very well known now. Question number 4. Paige Olvera, that is Olivia Rodrigo. Now, the reason why I didn't go with her High School Musical name actress that she played is because I can only find her first name. I couldn't really find her last name. Admittedly, I didn't do a ton of digging. I just found her first name. So that's why I decided to go with the option there. Question number 5. Alex Russo, well, that is Selena Gomez. Again, she had a couple of other roles at Disney as well. Now, Selena and Demi also were together on Barney and Friends, and it's kind of funny to see how little they were to see where they are now. Last but not least, question number 6. Laureline Baker, well, that is Hilary Duff. Now, if I had said Lizzie McGuire, that would have been as easy as Hannah Montana. So I wanted to change it up a little bit and go with her character from Cheaper by the Dozen. And hopefully that was able to kind of throw you off a little bit. But again, a lot of talent has come through Disney. These are just 6 examples there, and they're all very talented female artists. Definitely could do a whole line of men, and maybe that's what the future holds here. Only time will tell. Continuing on now into round number 3. Round number 3 is our connecting the circles. The way this round works is I'm going to ask you 5 questions that may or may not be Disney related, but the answers do relate somehow through Disney. And that's going to be your 6th and final question is, what is that connection? So let's get started here with question number 1. What movie is the first full-length feature film from Pixar? Question number 2. What is the 19th full-length feature film from Pixar and is about a family who makes shoes? Question number 3. What movie is based on the 1756 fairy tale by Jean-Marie Laprise de Beaumont as well as the 1946 French film? Question number 4. What is the title of the movie that is a live-action remake sequel that came out 4 years after the original? Good news, they got Glenn Close back for the sequel. Question number 5. What Disney full-length feature movie is the highest grossing movie of all time and behind only Inside Out 2 for the highest grossing animated movie of all time? And question number 6 is, what is that connection? I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, see if you can come up with that connection, and then I will return. All right, let's see if we can connect those circles. So question number 1. What movie is the first full-length feature film from Pixar? Well, that is Toy Story. Again, a classic movie. My daughter is really starting to get into Toy Story. We watched Toy Story 2 the other day, and she loved it as well as Toy Story. And it is just, she just loves, I think, all the colors, but also the movement. And there's some cool toys on there. Plus Barbie. She loves Barbie. Question number 2. What is the 19th full-length feature film from Pixar and is about a family who makes shoes? Well, that is Coco. Again, maybe the 19th you were like, and then the part about them making shoes, remember, the entire family had kind of outlawed and not allowed music, whereas they wanted to bring it back in, and and Miguel was able to bring music back to the family. Question number 3. What movie is based on the 1756 fairy tale by Jean-Marie Laprise de Beaumont, as well as the 1946 feature French film? That is Beauty and the Beast. We are talking about a classic fairy tale. And yeah, it dates back to the 18th century. It is a very old story. And again, there's a lot of different iterations of the story around the world, but all of them kind of have that same theme. Question number 4. What is the title of the movie that is a live-action remake sequel that came out 4 years after the original? Good news, they got Glenn Close back for the sequel. Well, that is 102 Dalmatians. Obviously, the live-action remake was 101 Dalmatians. Glenn Close played Cruella de Vil. She was able to play Cruella de Vil in 102 Dalmatians as well. I distinctly remember seeing this in theaters. It's weird, I have that distinct memory of seeing this in theaters. Question number 5. What Disney full-length feature movie is the highest grossing movie of all time and behind only Inside Out 2 for highest grossing animated movie of all time? That is Frozen 2. Frozen 2 broke all sorts of animated movie records for not just Disney, but in general, and still sits as the number 2 most highest grossing animated film of all time. They put the live action remake of The Lion King on this list. It's a live action. How can you call it live action, but still be considered animated? So in my eyes, Frozen 2 is Disney's highest grossing, and you can lump Inside Out 2 there, but that is primarily Pixar with Disney. It is, when we're talking about 100% Disney, definitely Frozen 2. So question number 6 is, what is the connection? Well, we had answers such as Toy Story, Coco, Beauty and the Beast, 102 Dalmatians, and Frozen 2. The connection there, all those movies came out on November 22nd of whatever year it was. So yeah, all of them came out on November 22nd. Toy Story in 1995, Coco in 2017, Beauty and the Beast in 1991, 102 Dalmatians in 2000, and Frozen 2 in 2019. Right around that time is when we start to kind of see Thanksgiving come around. And that's a big time to go and see movies. Hence the reason why November continues to be a big month for movie anniversaries. And we just mentioned 5 of them. We're talking specifically about 3 of them. That's 8 movies in this week. And there's still more that I left out of this week. There are a ton of movies that came out during this week in Disney history. And I hope that you have enjoyed all of them thus far. Continuing on now into round number 4. And as just mentioned, another movie anniversary. Today we're going to talk about Ralph Breaks the Internet. After the success of Wreck-It Ralph, they decided to come out with the sequel of Ralph Breaks the Internet, which is another fantastic movie. A lot of fun, a lot of interesting quirks as well. So all these questions have to do with Ralph Breaks the Internet. So let's get started with question number 1. Who does Vanellope meet when she is looking through the internet and introduces comfy clothes to them? Question number 2. What common Pixar number is seen right before Vanellope opens the door to meet her new friends? Question number 3. What racing game does Vanellope and Ralph go into to try and steal a car to make $40,000? Question number 4. Who runs and owns the arcade from both Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet? Question number 5. Which character did not have their original voice actor play them in Ralph Breaks the Internet? Is it Woody, Buzz Lightyear, C-3PO, or Groot? And question number 6. What song is sung by Ralph after the credits? All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, try to come up with those answers, and then I will return. All right, let's get some answers here on Ralph Breaks the Internet. So question number 1. Who does Vanellope meet while she is looking through the internet and introduces Comfy Clothes to them? That is the Disney princesses. They all meet her and they're like, "You're a princess? Where's your dress?" They were just kind of curious about that. And then she's like, "I get to wear comfy clothes," and she introduces Comfy Clothes to them. I think it's funny that all their shirts had different sayings that relate to their characters as well. Question number 2. What common Pixar number is seen right before Vanellope opens the door to meet her new friends? Well, that is A113. That is in every single Pixar movie, is A113. And they put it in this movie as well, again, as a little homage to Pixar and the animation crew. Question number 3. What racing game does Vanellope and Ralph go into to try to steal a car to make $40,000? That is Slaughter Race. Shank's car is worth $40,000, and they go in there to try to steal it. They were mildly successful, but it also is where Gal Gadot comes in. That is her character. Shank is her character. She introduces how to go viral, and it kind of works for him. Question number 4. Who runs and owns the arcade from both Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet? That is Mr. Litwack, as voiced by Ed O'Neill. Does a great job of it as well, but he's the one who runs the arcade and ultimately sets up the Wi-Fi that Ralph tries to break down. Question number 5. Which character did not have their original voice actor play them in Ralph Breaks the Internet? Is it Woody, Buzz Lightyear, C-3PO, or Groot? That is Woody. Buzz Lightyear had an appearance by Tim Allen. C-3PO comes and brings all the princesses back for their next round of quizzes. And then Groot, of course, we had Groot in there, and he and Vin Diesel did his original voice for that as well. Woody was not in this one, so no Tom Hanks. Last but not least, question number 6. What song is sung by Ralph after the credits? That is Never Gonna Give You Up. Now, the way that this was portrayed is, hey, there's going to be an exclusive look at Frozen 2 at the end of this movie, and they rickrolled us. And it's Ralph singing Never Gonna Give You Up, doing the dance moves, everything else like that. I found it hilarious. I just thought it was really, really cool. But again, Ralph Breaks the Internet, very solid movie. It's fun. If you get a chance to watch it, if you haven't watched it recently, just do it. It's a lot of fun. Continuing on now into round number 5. Round number 5 is on Moana. So this is a really cool thing now that we're talking about Moana, because Moana 2 comes out in just a few days. So we're going to talk about the original Moana and all the fun things that comes with that movie. So let's get started here with question number 1. What actor and wrestling phenom played Maui? Question number 2. What Hamilton star wrote the music for Moana? Question number 3. What is the name of the pig that hangs out with Moana? Question number 4. Name the island that Moana and her family live on. Question number 5. According to the songwriter, who is Tamatoa a tribute to? And question number 6. What NFL Hall of Famer has a small role as one of the fishermen in Moana? All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, try to come up with those answers, and then I will return. All right, let's get you some answers here on Moana. So question number 1. What actor and wrestling phenom played Maui? Well, that is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Definitely a good role for him. I love the little quips that they gave him, the tattoos, the eyebrow raising, all that sort of stuff. I loved it. I thought it was a great fit. Question number 2. What Hamilton star wrote the music for Moana? Well, that is Lin-Manuel Miranda. Definitely took some risks with some of his music, and I thought it turned out brilliantly. Question number 3. What is the name of the pig that hangs out with Moana? That is Pua, who definitely seems to have a bigger role in Moana 2. Definitely seems like every promotion that we've seen Moana, Pua has been there as well. Obviously, Hey Hey as well, but it seems like Pua has been with her as well. Question number 4. Name the island that Moana and her family live on. Well, that is Motunui. Now, technically, Motunui is modeled after the Hawaiian Islands, hence the reason why Moana is our third princess from North America. But definitely, the story takes place over the entire Polynesian area. Question number 5. According to the songwriter, who is Tamatoa a tribute to? That is David Bowie. You got to think about the time that Lin-Manuel Miranda is writing the music for Moana is about the same time that David Bowie passed. So to have an honorary song and then obviously a look that Tamatoa has is a great example. I mean, he is so shiny. I mean, just he gets all the fish because of it. Last but not least, question number 6. What NFL Hall of Famer has a small role as one of the fishermen in Moana? That is Troy Polamalu. Now, one of the cool things about this story is all the characters, all the voice actors have Polynesian descent in there. Troy Polamalu is by far one of the most recognizable safeties to ever play the game of football. And the fact that he has a small role in this as well is just something that's really, really cool. I'm excited to see Moana 2. It comes out here soon. I'm excited to watch it and excited to see how they advance the story from here. Well, I want to thank you for tuning in this week. I will return next week with more questions and more fun. Make sure you're following us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mouse in the Mitten. If you're watching us over on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe, turn on that bell for notifications, give us a thumbs up. In the comments down below, let us know what your score is. If you're listening to us, make sure you're following us on Apple Podcasts. If Apple isn't your thing, make sure you download us wherever else you are listening. And then also make sure you leave us a 5-star review. Now, again, Disney has a lot of really cool things that you can plan, but sometimes you just don't know about them until you have someone that tells you about those experiences. If you're someone who you're trying to navigate your next Disney vacation, I would love to help plan it and make sure that everything goes smoothly. All you got to do is email me at mouseinthemitten@gmail.com. I can get you all set and all taken care of. Well, hey, my name's Court. The dog's name is Milo. I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you next time.